Vicky Hawkins, welcome to Back to Byker.
Andrew Smith, thanks for having us.
I don't know about
I
you, but
think I've got the giggles already.
I feel like I saw you last week.
No, I know. And now that we've kind of spoken recently, it's made us think about lots and lots of things.
As it's brought up,
Yeah,
flooding
it
back.
has. Yeah, yeah. I feel like me and you did loads of growing up together while we were on that program.
We did. You started in 1999. I can't believe it. God, feels like yesterday, doesn't it?
It does.
Do you remember your first audition?
I do. So I remember me mum, bless her, driving us round Benwell, looking for the mitre on a Friday night in the peeing rain in January. No such thing as a sat nav because they didn't exist.
Yeah.
And going and meeting Tom Wilson and Stephen McAteer in the office upstairs,
Yeah.
and having a chat. And it all just going from there, really.
Did you write in or did they come to your school or what?
So I wrote in asking to be an extra.
Right.
I'd wanted to get a paper round, and my dad had said no because I wanted some money. And a lad who I'd gone to school with had been an extra on Byker Grove and got paid. So I was like, right then, so I'm going to do that. Me being me. So wrote a letter in. Just looked right for what they were casting at the time, and so they brought us in.
Mhm.
And then my life changed completely.
And then, in a strange twist of fate, we saw you just before you got the part, didn't we? Me and my
I
friend
know.
Gary.
I hadn't even thought about that, and I was like, nah. So I'd had my little brother, who's now 33, out in town for the day, and we got on the 21, the 21 from
Yeah.
town. And you and Gary were on the back of the bus, and I knew I was going for an audition in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and
you hadn't been for an audition at that point.
No, I don't think so. Or
Right.
I think I might have been to a workshop.
Right.
And I'd been called back for an audition, and I knew I was going the following week. And I'd seen you and Gary on the bus, and obviously didn't know you, didn't say anything. And Gary was being typical Gary.
Gary who plays
Um,
Greg.
and being all flirty and God knows what. Me and Bob were like 4:15 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh God, I want to die. This is awful. Got off the bus and you both waved at us on the back of the bus. And then I think it was like Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
Gary was in Dee's office and I was in that big room that was opposite. Was that the pool room or something? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
pool room.
I looked in Dee's office and Gary looked in the pool room and Gary's like, what the hell are you doing here? Was that you on the bus the other day? I was like, hi.
That was so strange. And then, do you remember your first scene?
Yes, we were filming at Legends.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Legend.
do. And Flaming Martin Ford Bogey gave us the worst pair of shoes I've ever seen in my life. Which, if he gave us them series later, I would have threw them at him and said, "Don't think so." Because it
And
was my first day. No,
so that was your first day on set,
it
outside
was,
Legend,
yeah,
because that was the first scene that we did together as well.
it was, yeah. And Eddie cut all my hair off.
Oh yeah, you were fuming
Honestly, I can't listen to Brian Adams and Mel say "Baby When You're Gone" without getting PTSD. I
because it
just
was on in the makeup
it was
room.
on when all my hair was falling off on the floor, and I was like, oh.
Oh, but I actually watched that scene the other day. We look so young. But and you knock Ben back. Do you remember?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah,
Yeah, I can vaguely remember what it was about. It was
yeah.
like, "Hello, Earth calling,
Oh
someone, Q
yes,
jumper, Earth
yes.
calling, Q jumper."
And that was the start of Ben and Claire's turbulent relationship.
God, I know, and that was mad because we were kind of good friends off set as well, weren't we? So
Yeah,
it used to be weird having to like be boyfriend and girlfriend
yeah.
but it was fun, yeah, definitely.
We did have some laughs on set. What do you remember about like storylines and stuff? Any that stand out for you?
Well, I think Claire's main storyline was always that she was a carer for her
Hmm.
dad, who was
Yeah.
played by Bill Fellows.
Hmm.
Um, And so I think that might have kicked in about my second series. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So that
How was
kind
it
of,
revealed?
I think this is so bad that I can't remember,
It's
I'm
a long
sure
time ago,
someone
Vicky.
came. Oh, don't say that. But yes, it is. So I think someone followed her home. I think Nat and what was
Harry.
Harry, yeah,
Yeah.
followed her home, and kind of found out that she was looking after her dad,
Right.
something along those lines, and then
Yeah.
it all came out.
Yeah.
But the amount of mail and things I got from kids who were doing the same thing, and I remember going to I think it was one of the museums in town where they had an afternoon on for young carers, and they asked me to go along, and I couldn't believe how rife it actually was with young kids having to care for their parents who'd fallen ill.
Mhm.
So me and Bill played that quite well, and we're still pals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's still my biker dad, but I hate him
No.
because he was in Ted Lasso, and I'm dead
I
jealous.
know.
I was like, "What are you doing on that? That's terrible." His job.
Bill was lovely to work with, though, wasn't he?
Oh, he's high maintenance, Bill, though. Definitely. Then compared to us, we used to be like, "What's all this?" I was like, "Oh, we just sit on the wall, Bill, till we go in on set. We don't have a trailer or anything."
You're his friend, though. You can say that.
Oh, I love Bill. He's great, and he's still me biker dad. I still say that to him when we talk.
Yeah.
And we worked together again years later. We did a play together.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We've got a couple of mutual friends as well, so we do still speak quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the gap's caught up now. The age gap's caught up.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, I was thinking as well, watching old episodes of Ben and Claire and their relationship and stuff. He really treated her badly.
I know. I would have battered you by now,
I
wouldn't I?
can't
Really?
believe it,
I can't
actually.
believe
And
she
like
didn't.
the MS storyline, he was having a go at her because she didn't want to go out and party because she was too tired because she'd been looking after her dad.
Yeah, but that was what Ben was, though. He
I
was
know.
very, very selfish and self-centered.
Mm,
And I think part of it was because Ben had grew up in care as well, so he was very much out for himself because he had
mm,
to be. He felt like he
yeah,
only had himself to think
yeah,
of. So it would come across and things like that. But
yeah.
yes, and you tried it on with all our mates.
I know. Well, I mean, we're not defending him at all, but
No.
a lot of people had abandoned him in the past,
Yes. Yeah.
like his dad and his brother. But I do think Claire was his like only true love. He's the only
Oh dear.
he's the only person he said it to.
Oh, did he
Yeah,
say that? Oh,
yeah.
was there some love bombs
Just
dropped?
before you done
Oh.
off to Tenerife,
Told him to do one.
you're
Oh,
like,
because you
nah,
tried to get on with Nikki. He was actually
yeah,
one character. Nikki, yeah, in the flat in Byker Wall. Oh,
yeah.
God.
2 minutes
That,
after you went, yeah, he tried it on with our best mate.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know,
Yeah, he wasn't that
nightmare.
bothered, was he? No.
When you think back to Biker, like what memories stand out for you in particular? Or what does it make you think of when you think about Biker?
I just think how lucky we all were, really.
Mm,
And I'm really pleased it was something I didn't take for granted.
hmm.
You know yourself, a lot of people in this industry do take it for granted and don't realise how lucky they are to be doing the job that they're doing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I don't really think there was any of that amongst us, if I'm honest.
Hmm.
Of course, we all had little egos. We were 15, 16, making good cash in on the telly and stuff. But I think we were all pretty grateful. I just always remember feeling really, really grateful that I was there doing it.
Yeah.
Just never something that I thought in a million years would ever happen. It's a
Mm,
lot of Geordie kids, from our generation and older as well. Remember, it went on for about 10 years before I'd even started.
yeah.
All wanted to be in Byker Grove.
Mm,
In the fact that we all managed to somehow get there
yeah.
is pretty cool, really. It
Mm,
is. It
yeah.
is. I still get recognised for that more than anything.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's brilliant. Do you know one thing I would always have you down as is a grafter? Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, 100%.
You knuckle down at Biker, you really knuckle down at school with your studies at the same time. You were into your fitness back then as well, and you loved a night out.
I did. I was thinking about some of our nights out. Can you remember when we used to con the doorman at Baja Beach Club to let us in the front because we were on Byker Grove? They must have thought what a budget. I'm not even going to say the word, but they used to let us in.
I know.
We were old enough then, to be fair.
You're like, oh,
We
he's
were.
Ben and Claire again.
I think you're just going to push in the queue while you're. I am. That is in. But we used to have some great nights out.
We did a lot. And then we would go into Byker feeling fresh because we were young enough to do that back then.
That's just not true though, because I remember Morag Bain, and I was also thinking about this the other day because I'm still friends with Morag as well, who was
Oh
the
yeah.
producer who took over from Stephen McAteer. And
Yeah.
I remember coming out of girls' costume, and she was like, "I hear you're hungover." I was like, "No," like get one eye shut, and she was like, "Not the night before work." And I think I went and seen Jill in makeup, and I was like, "Just sort us out, will you? Just sort me." And you know what it is? I never did it again.
Oh yeah. You learn your
And it
lesson.
wasn't just because I got told off. It was
Mhm.
because literally I had a day of back to back. What was like the big games room,
General room.
general room, and it
Yeah.
used to be murder filming in there,
Yeah.
didn't it? It went on for hours,
General
and I
room with
had,
a hangover is not the one.
and I think we had Tyrone Riddler as first,
Oh yeah.
and Vicky, I was like, oh god, no. And I never did it again on any job ever.
So you learned. Do you think that Byker set you up for other acting jobs then? Do you think you learned a lot on Byker?
Yeah, and I think Byker changed the whole course of my life for sure.
Mm.
I don't think acting's something you can teach people. You can nurture it, but you can either do it or you can't. It's a
Mhm.
very natural thing that comes to people. But I'd always wanted to be a PE teacher. That's what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
From kind of going to secondary school, that was my plan.
Mhm.
And then once I think I was in fourth year comp, that's when I got into Byker, and it completely changed everything. And I realised really what was out there if I wanted to go and get it, which fortunately for me, I managed to do for a little while afterwards.
Mhm.
But yeah, for sure. And I went on to college as well, and I did theatre studies at college, just because I wanted to know what I was talking about if I was ever thrown in at the deep end, which I was
Mhm.
at times. So I was really pleased I did that as well. Yeah.
It is a great training ground, I've got to say. Like even things like hitting your marks, eye lines, call times. You learn about timekeeping. You get to
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
with adults and stuff. It definitely did set us up, I think.
Well, it did because I remember my first day at Emmerdale. I think they'd blocked out quite a lot of time for the my first scenes because they might have got kids fresh out of drama school in there
Yeah.
who, might have not done much training with camera and things like that. So they'd block quite well. The scenes were done,
Mm.
like because I knew what I was doing. So
One
and that was
take wonder.
great. Yeah, what can I say? Still. Yeah, and there was no marks because I was sat down, so that probably helped because I was always useless at hitting me marks. But
So
yeah, it
that
definitely did.
you left Biker in after four series. You stayed for.
I think it was four, and then I think Claire
I feel
came
like it
back.
was five.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. The day, mate, man.
You
Never
crammed
mind.
a lot in if it was four series.
I cannot remember. I think coming back for Ben's funeral
Ah,
might have
yeah,
been my fifth thing, but that was just like one episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then so you left, and then you did Steel River Blues.
so I did Steel River Blues.
Yeah,
And then I worked for Capital Radio for quite a few years as well at the same time.
yeah,
Did plays, one episodes of things, and then obviously got Emmerdale for a bit.
yeah. How did you find being on Emmerdale? Did you enjoy it?
But yeah, it was great crack,
Yeah,
great fun. I
yeah,
can't ever complain about any job I've done because I've always just thought I've been really lucky.
yeah,
And everyone's always been really nice. I've been fortunate enough not to come across too many jerks. Came
yeah.
across them, but not too many.
Mm.
So
Was
yeah,
Charlie
no.
Hardwick there when you were on it?
Yeah, so Charlie Hardwick
Oh,
played my character's mom.
oh,
So I felt already like I was a step ahead, really,
yeah,
because we already had a bit rapport
yeah,
playing mother and daughter.
right.
But I was
Did
always
you
really
have to audition with Charlie?
yes. So when I first went in, I met a woman called Faye Styron, who I think you've also
Oh,
met
yeah.
before, haven't you?
Mhm.
And we had a chat and stuff. But I also had a bit of a foot in because the guy who wrote the part in Emmerdale was Dale Mix's brother. So Dale
Oh,
obviously
right.
used to be in Byker Grove
A burner.
before. Well, he's sadly passed away now. So
Yeah.
he'd rang me saying, listen, I wrote this part for Emmerdale and I think you'd be really good for it. And I was like, okay, I try not get my hopes up. Like, had them dashed many a time, as we all have.
Hmm.
So then I got called in. And then I seen a producer who I knew from Steel River Blues in the reception when I was there. So you can
Brilliant.
imagine the daggers I was getting off all the lasses who were going for the part. He said, look, I'm going to have a word with Faye. I know you'd smash this. And I was like, don't get your hopes up. And
Yeah.
then I got to work with Charlie, and it was like we're all pals and stuff. So I always had that bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
But I was always really useless with nerves with auditions.
Mm.
Useless. And I used
Me
to forget
too.
my lines. Oh, I used to smash it out before I went in and go in and be like, I don't
Mm.
know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's terrible. And then you walk out the audition room, the nerves completely go, and you go, why can't I just go in there and do that all again now when I
Yeah,
feel like this?
yeah. And you hate yourself, don't you, come out
Yeah.
because you know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
But Faye is a really nice casting director. I'm
Mm.
not sure if she's still kicking about now.
Mm.
Lovely lass. And she really put us at ease. And I was there with Charlie, so I think I managed to do well. Obviously, I did because I got the job.
Mm.
But yeah, so it all went to plan. And then I got a
Yeah.
text telling me I had the job.
Oh,
And I was working in an office, and I screamed the office down, and it's like,
did you?
"See ya,
I'm off.
hurrah!" No, I didn't.
How long did you stay at Emmerdale?
I was in and out for about 2.5 years, I think. So I was never an actual regular. I was more of a supporting regular. So a bit like a Peter Barlow,
Right.
like Coronation Street, kind of in
Yeah.
and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I would love to have stayed.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a nice amount of time, though.
it is, but I would like to still be in it now and probably have
Yeah.
my mortgage paid.
Would you like to do another soap?
I don't know. They're all a bit mad now, aren't they? There's lots of people get murdered.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody lasts for very long.
yeah. I mean, where from? Well, I'm from Gateshead, and I've never known so many people get murdered as that happens in a sleeping village in the Yorkshire Dales. Yeah, I would, as long as it worked for me kids, I would do
Yeah.
whatever was out there. But it just
Yeah.
wouldn't. It wouldn't at the minute.
Do you still keep a foot in with acting? Do you still do bits and pieces?
No, not
No.
now.
What are you doing now?
No, when I fell pregnant with my oldest daughter, I kind of thought that's it. My focus has to shift, really. You know
Yeah.
yourself, some months you've had no castings, or you go for one and they want to send you around on a
Mm.
tour for 7 months, and I just thought that's it now, enough's enough. There's been a few things up this neck of the woods in Newcastle where there's been a few indie films and stuff made, and I've been asked to go and do it, but
Mhm.
and I've done it, but they've never really come to anything.
Yeah.
Maybe when the kids are a bit more independent and I don't have to rely on so much help to be able to do that kind of job, I might. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we know the reboot's happening, and I've got a theory.
oh, I have, yeah.
Yeah. That Claire could have gone to Tenerife because she was pregnant with Ben's baby. So
Oh,
maybe there's a little Rivers Carter running around.
Rivers Carter.
And
That
he's
sounds
gonna
like one of Beyonce's kids. That.
he or she's gonna be in the reboot. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So, but I don't know when this reboot's meant to be happening because I did another interview a while ago, and I think I mentioned it here, and yeah, it doesn't seem to have.
I think maybe next year we might see it. Something. I don't know. I'm speculating, but
Oh, really?
it is in the pipeline. Yeah, the
Yeah,
lads are
because
working.
when that cake came out, and I got a million text messages from people
Mm,
asking us to get their kids auditions.
yeah.
Jesus, man, I don't even know anything about it. I'm just a numpty who has nothing to do with things like this. I couldn't even get myself a job on it, never mind somebody else.
Well, it was that when they announced the reboot that brought it all back to me, like the amount of stuff online and interviews that I was getting asked to do that reminded me like how loved Byker is.
It
Like,
was
forgot, yeah.
and is, yeah, definitely. And I still get recognised much more for Byker Grove.
Yeah.
Even, I think I was 18 or 19 when I left, and I'm
Yeah.
41 now. Oh, you'll be the same because
I'm the
you're a couple of
same.
months behind me.
Yeah.
But it's got to be the same, though, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's got to be the same crack, and if they play around with it too much, it'll
Mm.
not work because it was so real, and it had teenagers like us in it who were going through at the time
Yeah.
what was actually happening in the storylines.
Yeah.
Starting to have a relationship,
Mhm.
things like that. It has to be the same, and that's why I'm a bit.
Well, I think they will stick to that original format, definitely.
Mhm.
And I'm really interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah, and I'm also interested to see where they're going to do it because the mitre is
Exactly.
not the mitre anymore. It's
Yeah.
I think it's a mosque, I think now, or a
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
which was to be expected because there's a massive Muslim community around
Mhm.
Benwell where they film it, and it's they're looking after it well, and it's nice to see that it's not dropping to bits,
Mm,
which is what could have happened to it. It could have gone to wreck and ruin.
yeah.
I
I'd
wonder if
love
it's
to go
still,
back to the
I would love to
building.
go back, and I wonder
Yeah.
if it's still haunted.
Maybe I can do one of these there sometime with a few of us. It'll be a laugh.
Oh yeah, I think that would be great. But
It was haunted though, wasn't it?
it was haunted, and you used to hear some tales of the security guard seeing ghosts and legging it.
Yeah.
And I used to hate being in the women's toilets by myself
Yeah.
because Andrea Cawthard used to tell us that she'd seen a ghost under the door.
Yeah. There
Cheers,
was loads
Andrea.
of people who saw a ghost. Martin the dresser, he he saw a ghost in the dressing room, had to run off down the drive. He went to the pitcher and piano, had to get a bottle of wine.
Aye, that was his excuse.
To steady his nerves.
There's loads of people did. I'm sure Dee did,
Yeah.
and Kathy did,
Mhm.
and I didn't know.
Yeah, scary. But and do you know what? All this the memories that came back when I knew I was going to be chatting to you. I was thinking about when we would like go up to the writer's office and just like plonk ourselves on the sofa and be like, "What's happening then?" Or can we find out about this? Do you remember? We
Yeah,
just pester the writers all the time, find out what was going on for any goss.
and she used to write. There was a lass who became a writer later on. I can't remember what her name was.
Was it
And
Heather?
Heather, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry. I didn't realize how bad I am with memory. And she used to write random lies of storylines on the boards so
I
that
didn't know
we,
that.
yes, I'm sure she did, or somebody told me that she did. But now I look back, I just think, where's the issue with telling us? But it might have been in case things changed.
We would have blabbed.
Oh, I would have totally told everybody. Yeah. And if I didn't, my mother would have, because she was shocking. When I was in Emmerdale, there was a Who Killed Tom King thing,
Yeah.
like storyline. And my mum was, I was like, I just can't tell you. I said, I just can't, because you'll just tell everybody and I'll get told off. And so I never told her to this day.
Good move.
I lost my job before it started.
So tell me about life now. What are you up to?
So now I've got my own personal training business. So I work out of a gym called Motivate Fitness in near where you used to live in Pelton.
Okay.
Not far from yours. And I've got 3 children.
Mhm.
Scarlett, who's 12, India, who's 10, and Isla, who is 7. And we live just up from Beamish Museum.
Oh, nice.
So not far, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
And then I've got a partner who I've been with 5 years, so I'm divorced. And he's got 2 boys called Evan and Aiden.
Ah,
So yeah, me and Daryl have been together a while now.
lovely.
He's
You got your hands
standing up.
full.
I have. You know me.
You can handle it.
I can. Love it. If there's no chaos, there's no fun.
This has been lush.
I know, it's been really nice.
I've
I feel
loved it.
happy. I know.
Thank you, Vicky.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.